Welcome back to Here and There. We are visiting with Amanda Horton. She's our friend at the University of Central Arkansas, public appearances, Reynolds, all of the things. And thank you for coming back. We had you on in the summer when the season was announced. I'm glad you're here, though, because we've got a lot to get us through the end of the school year, the end of this season. And so let's start talking about those.
Big spring semester for sure.
Yes, absolutely. So Step Africa is the first event we want to talk about. There's actually a couple of shows.
Yes, there is. We are offering a nighttime performance for the public and then also a day performance with our main stage education series.
Okay.
They shorten the performance to 60 minutes and put the highlights in it for the children. And you know, this is a great show for public and for our educational system because it goes through the history of African step dance, which is now very prevalent on college campuses.
Yes.
I don't know if you've ever been to a step show.
Oh, yeah.
They're quite dynamic,
They
very entertaining, and you're going to hear all about the history of how those step shows happen, and then get a full dose of it from you know, wonderful choreography to some really neat music, and the costumes are just unbelievable, and they're historical period pieces, so really neat.
Visually, it is an impressive show, so that'll be cool. That is coming up February 4th and 5th. So that weekend, there's a show that I'm really excited about. It's Ghostbusters in concert. The movie's going to play, and the Conway Symphony Orchestra is going to play the score live.
The entire score. You know, it is a wonderful way to introduce children to the symphony, to that type of music, because we don't often think about when we're watching a live movie how much music is in it until you see a performance like this. So yes, the full movie will be playing, and you have to remind yourself at times to look down, but it truly is very surround sound because the symphony is right there playing, and it's just a wonderful experience for all, but especially, like I said, bring a kid. Find a child. Children's tickets are only $10 to this performance, and introduce them to the symphony. One other thing I want to just point out is how lucky we are to have our symphony. It is their 40th anniversary this year, and it's the Ghostbusters 40th anniversary of that movie, so that was just perfect.
That's awesome. That's going to be, again, September 8th, starts at 7. Oh, I'm sorry, I said September. February 8th, starting at 7 o'clock. So a couple of weeks later, it'll be Pretty Woman, the musical, and I noticed today it's a big new musical, big, huge. That's how it's being presented. So tell me about this.
What I'm going to tell you about this is if you loved the classic movie Pretty Woman, you're going to adore the musical because it very much follows in step with the movie. All of the fantastic costumes that Julia Roberts wore in the movie, you'll see them replicated on the stage, and then also they weave in some really neat music to it to make it a musical, and some great choreography.
Well, I was reading today about the music, and the original score that's a part of the musical, Bryan Adams was a part of that.
And anything Bryan Adams did, you know it's
Summer '69 Bryan Adams. So that's very cool. All right, so that's going on February 23rd. Before the end of the month, there's an event that Conway Corp is proud to be a sponsor of.
We're so thankful to you all for being able to bring these shows to our community to educate our children. It's part of our main stage education series, and it's Ada Twist Scientist. And in Ada Twist Scientist is Rosie Revere, engineer, and there's an architect, Iggy Peck architect, and of course a scientist. And what we love about this is those are really not necessarily career paths that young children are thinking about. So we're able to educate them on what exactly does an architect do, or what does an engineer do. And there's also some females that are playing those roles. I love that as well. But H&N Architects and Conway Corp are our sponsors for that show, and you know it's for our schools, but you can buy individual tickets. There's a 10 a.m. and a 12 o'clock performance, and we would love, you don't have to be a child to attend any either. It is certainly meant for children, but we can certainly sell tickets to the public.
And the date again on that is?
The date on that is February 28th.
February 28th, okay, very good. All right, moving on to the very next day is going to be a show that I really think this is great. This is Hot Club of Cowtown and Tyler Hilton celebrate the music of Elvis Presley from Sun Studio, which Sun Studio is incredible anyway. If you've ever had a chance to go over to Memphis and see that, it's great. But Tyler Hilton, I was learning today, he played Elvis in Walk the Line.
Absolutely, that's what I was about to say. Do you remember Walk the Line? It was such a huge blockbuster hit. But yes, Tyler Hilton played him, and he will be on our stage that night. And let me tell you, Hot Club of Cowtown has so much energy. They're a Western swing band, but they really bring a ton of energy to the stage. And who doesn't love Elvis Presley?
Right,
That's going to be a lot of fun.
That is a fun show. It's a Saturday night, March 1st, 7 o'clock is that. We'll go ahead a month to early April now for a really interesting show, Our Planet Live, Frozen Worlds with Sophie Landfear.
Yes.
How should we know about her? Netflix, correct?
Yes, Sophie was the producer and director of this particular show on Netflix.
Okay.
And if you haven't seen the show, it is still on Netflix, so you should definitely go and look that up. But she will that night from the stage show several clips of the show. She'll tell you what it was like to be in the Arctic with the polar bears and the icebergs and the penguins, and just go through what it's like in that area, educate you about that particular part of the world, but also educate you about the process of filming and putting the story together. And she's highly acclaimed. She'll do a wonderful job, and it'll be very interesting.
That's the part of the Distinguished Speakers Series, which that's something that we haven't mentioned much today, is just these different series. You're so particular and intentional on filling out these different things to reach different parts of the community.
Absolutely.
And I love that. Thank you for doing that in the first place, but I wanted to mention that quickly with Distinguished Speakers for sure.
Our series every year has great diversity, and you're going to find something that you're going to be interested in if you will just look at our programs.
Absolutely.
So, yes.
So the last show we're going to talk about is Sunday, April 13th, and it's in the beautiful new Windgate Center.
It is.
And it's Susie Boggess.
Yes. Susie had many hits
Yes, she did.
in the 1990s. And she almost had a resurgence. I don't know if I would quite use that word, but during COVID, she would do concerts from her living room.
Okay.
And people followed her a lot, but still has just that beautiful voice. She's still beautiful, and she'll play all those hits that you love. And she's also known for not just country music, but also Americana folk music.
Okay.
So she'll perform some of those songs as well.
So in a previous life, I was Jeff Drake at KDUK. And radio station in Little Rock, and yeah, we played a lot of Susie Boggess back in the day.
Yeah.
So ticket information, best place to get those, because that's what we want people to do, is go out and take advantage of these opportunities right here in town.
Yes, you can do that from your computer or your cell phone at uca.edu/PA. You can also, of course, search Reynolds Performance Hall or UCA Public Appearances. Make sure you get on our ticketing link. That is very, very important, that you're on our official ticketing link and you can purchase your tickets there. We'd also mentioned children's tickets being very affordable at $10 each, but the way you access those is a little different. Those are not available online, so you do have to call our box office, and that's 501-450-3265. You can also show up at our box office, and we have 2 of those now.
Really?
We have one at Reynolds Performance Hall that's very easy. You just drive right up to it. But there's also one in the Windgate Center for Fine and Performing Arts right there in the lobby, and it's also easily accessible. But those are open from 10 to 4, Monday through Friday, and always open 1 hour before every show. So we'd love to see your faces as well.
Very good, very good. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you in the summer, where we'll talk about next season.
Can't wait. We're working on it now.
I can't wait to hear about it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Express yourself with beautiful custom jewelry from Brooks Fine Jewelry.
Hello, Conway. This is Jeff Brooks of Brooks Fine Jewelry, and custom jewelry is absolutely taken off. Anything and everything you ever wanted to make in jewelry is available to you right here. So come on down to Brooks Fine Jewelry and let's get you a piece of jewelry made. This is a great time of year to have a design made. Let's create something today that you can be proud to hand your family for tomorrow.
Brooks Fine Jewelry, your jewelry makers in downtown Conway.
Come on down and see what my papa can make.